how I dodged the sheep's head and became a Kazakh nobleman. In 2011, I served as a Fulbright scholar in Kazakhstan, based in the capital Astana, and guest teaching at other universities. In February, I spent a week teaching in Semipalatinsk, or Semey as it is called today, in the northeast of the country. After years of travel in Central Asia, I've learned that you refuse food at your peril. Central Asians pride themselves on their hospitality, and even the poorest families feel both the duty and the pleasure of entertaining guests, even if they do not have enough food for their own needs. On my first day at Semey State University, I was a guest at a traditional Kazakh feast hosted by the rector, Yelan Sidikov, and his 5 vice-rectors. There was besh barmak, boiled mutton and noodles, potatoes, carrots, soup, salads, balkash, a traditional fried dough, fruits and sweets. The vice-rector sitting next to me kept loading my plate with another traditional delicacy, horse meat. When I protested mildly, he explained that there were several varieties, each with a different taste and texture, and that surely I had to try them all. The 8 people at the table ate a fraction of the food served, but that's not the point. In Kazakh culture, you dishonor your guest if you do not prepare a huge spread. Sidikov told me that this tradition came from the days when his people were nomads and visitors bringing news from other places were rare and welcome. I expected a farewell lunch on my final day, so I did my best not to think too much about it, particularly about the part of the sheep which, according to tradition, is presented to the guest of honor. The sheep's head duly arrived, very well cooked, along with a kitchen knife and instructions to cut pieces for all the guests. I'm not much good at carving the Thanksgiving turkey, and this was a more formidable task. I struggled for a few minutes while the vice-rectors looked on nervously. "От себя! Away from you," one urged as the knife slipped. Fearing that my next trip would be to the hospital, they passed the task on to another guest who expertly extracted the meat. Lunch was in the university's formal dining room. The decor was 1970s Las Vegas, walls painted in red, blue, and black, making the place look more like a nightclub than a dining room. It's probably the right atmosphere because few evening affairs go by without karaoke, dancing to loud music, and vodka. Fortunately, my lunchtime send-off was more sedate, with the usual series of toasts and short speeches. I was touched by the warmth and hospitality of everyone I met, and the vice-rectors were generous in their thanks. They also felt warmly about the United States, which several had visited. One spoke about his stay at the University of Nebraska Agriculture College. Sredny Zapad, Nastoyashaya America. The Midwest is the real America, he said several times. After many toasts and pledges of friendship, I was presented with gifts. The most impressive was a crimson-yellow coat with yellow embroidery, the traditional dress of a Kazakh nobleman, and this. It's the pointed felt hat called a kolpak, which is also found in Kyrgyzstan. I posed for pictures, packed up the coat and hat, and then set off by car to the next event, a concert by a famous Kazakh tenor. As a foreign guest, I was expected to sit in the front row. I wasn't expecting to sit in the front row dressed as a Kazakh nobleman, but my host insisted that I wear my formal dress. I felt pretty conspicuous, but no one seemed to pay much attention. There are people in traditional dress at every cultural event. After the concert, there were the usual group photos. The recently minted Kazakh nobleman tried to hide in the back row. It didn't help. I was the tallest person in the shot. And now I suppose I'm going to have to wear the thing for this video.